to our channel.
We are the Millers.
I'm Ozette.
And I'm Jerome.
And we are the Millers.
Hey, hey.
It's been a minute.
Yes, it has.
Life's crazy.
Yes,
holidays and everything else that comes with life. Getting back into the office. Well, we're still in the pandemic. But for this week, we'll be discussing why or how we came to this decision that this man here
and this woman here, y'all,
was the one that I should marry, like the God approval.
Wait, it was like a lightning strike. Boom! Yeah!
Oh my gosh.
Oh, not really.
He's so crazy. So, we left off with when we were dating, right? And back and forth, traveling. But one of the things that was important, a sermon, I don't remember who preached that sermon, and they spoke about not marrying someone until you've seen them in every season. Basically, it's a risk to marry someone that you've known for less than a year. I know people get married for less than a year and it worked out beautifully. And
but that's not the
because of where they are in their, walk with Christ and maturity and all of that good stuff. But I like that advice. Not marrying someone until you've seen them in every season. So you want to see them with what they are like when they're upset. You want to see what they're like when they're happy. You want to see what they're like with their friends, with their families. Because a lot of us, we are different when we are around different groups of our circles of friends. Because I'm different when I'm with my girls.
Me different too.
Don't do that, right? So we are different, and that's normal. We wear many different hats and roles, and as long as you're being Christ-like and you're presenting Christ, it doesn't matter as long as you're meeting people where they are in a Christ-like manner. For us, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna marry someone I've never seen upset. I have seen him upset over the phone. Thank God for technology. We WhatsApp and we mostly use WhatsApp,
yes,
right?
Mostly WhatsApp.
Yeah, there was Skype. We used Skype once, but it was mostly WhatsApp. And when he's upset, I would take note. What he would do is he doesn't hang phones up, which is important because if you hang the phone up on me, that means you're disrespectful, and that would have been a wrap. For him, he just takes the phone, you know what? I don't want to talk about this anymore. And he takes the phone and he puts it down. And he doesn't hang up on you. So I will be on the line watching him. I'm watching his body language. Okay, so this is what he does when he's upset. He just shuts down when we're over the phone. But what happens when we're in person? And I remember I came up, I think it was in December. I don't remember. And it was probably was for my birthday. I don't remember. But it was one of those holidays. I came up and my phone screen was cracked and I wanted to get it fixed. I was like, oh, when I come up, I'll just get it fixed. It should be cheaper in the US than it was in Jamaica. So I came up and we're here and we were talking. It was like normal. It was just normal. And I said something, being a Jamaican, I said something and he just lost it. And I didn't understand what was going on because...
You mean this perfect Christian lost it? That's not right.
You lost it.
Oh, okay.
You lost it. Mr. Ellen G. White lost it. And I was like, what's happening? He was just, he didn't curse. He was just telling me, oh, I don't appreciate that. And you got up and you were moving stuff around the room and you're like, I don't appreciate why you have to say things. And I was like, what's going on? Because it wasn't like we were running a joke per se, or it wasn't anything serious, but I don't know, something I said, I don't even know what it was.
I have no idea what it was.
But what I paid attention to was his body language until that he was very hurt and upset, and I paid attention to what was being said, what was not being said, and how what was being said, right? So I listened to his tone, and I could tell he was being firm, even though I was confused as to what he was upset about. And he did not say anything that was hurtful towards me. So even though he was saying, oh, I don't appreciate that, he didn't go and say, oh, well, you're like this and you're like that. And that's important, especially for marriage. When you are telling someone about issues, you need to speak on the issues and not throw that person under the bus.
Attack the person, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel attacked. I was confused. Again, I just couldn't figure out what he was upset about, which reminded me of Pastor Bird. Remember Pastor Bird was saying with his wife when they were dating and they were just having a good time and laughing, and she said, "Shut up."
Oh yeah.
Which is normal, like
yeah. They were talking about basically saying that what was it, background, your parental background, your culture,
right?
Because I think she came up from more of like a I wouldn't say.
Well, she wasn't from a Christian home.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
And in his household, you don't tell anybody to shut up. That's rude. But when you're hanging with your friends, which is normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're hanging with your friends, oh my, we'll say, you are such a liar. No, that did not happen. So when she told him to shut up, and she was just there dying of laughter, and he just stopped and he got serious, and she was like, what? What happened? And he was just not taking the shut up. Well,
that was a problem.
Even though
that was a big problem,
she didn't mean stop talking, you're being rude or anything. She was just using that jargon which she used with her friends. So that was the moment I realized he knew how to handle himself when he was angry, and not only that, when he was finished putting me in my place, so to speak, because I don't know what he was talking about, he said, "Okay, let's go get your phone fixed." I was like, wow, here I am in America with no family and pretty much no friends, and I upset him, and he could have said, you know what, forget you, I'm not doing this, let's do this another time, I don't feel like doing this right now. He was still taking care of my needs even though he was angry.
So
me,
are you telling the folks that that's what solidified your decision to marry me?
Yes. Okay. Because in that moment I realized that love was not just an emotion for you, it was a principle. So even though things might not be going right emotionally, you are gonna be a stand-up Christian Christ-like guy, get the thing done on the basis of principle, and you did not try to hurt my feelings, right? You didn't try to get revenge. I hurt your feelings, so you're going to try and hurt my feelings so that you can feel good or vindicated, or so I can feel as bad as you. So those were the important things. I say, okay, we talked about it after, and then we realized, oh, it was just a simple misunderstanding, which is something we have to work, we are still working on, because being from Jamaica, there are certain words that I use that when I say it to him, he gets a totally different understanding, and there are things that he said, I'm like, what? Totally different understanding. So, but that was the moment I was like, okay, I've seen you happy. You've been, the celibacy is important. You've been stand up with that, because I've dated guys who, oh yes, I don't mind, and then 3 months later they want to get in your knickers. But you were very serious about that. The devotional life was going strong. We connected. Spiritual intimacy was there. Emotional intimacy came.
Okay.
Because I was being vulnerable, after you told me, oh, I don't want to date anybody all that far. And I said, okay. But then I realized, we're talking every day, and I'm opening up, and now the emotional intimacy is going, the intellectual intimacy is there. I need to know whether to put a brakes on it. And you said, I changed your mind. So all of that, all of that was just, growing. We were growing, but I needed to see that you were not being fake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you proved yourself in that moment.
And that's good. I mean, and for me, it's not what was like a lightning bulb situation that like, oh, this is the one, or whatever the case may be. It was over the time period that we kind of grew together. I saw her. She was more Christ-like in the way that she carried herself. She wasn't argumentative, and even if we did have a disagreements, we could talk about our disagreements in mature ways. And she never just cared about me for simply cared about me. She took time out to get to know the person that I am, what I'm about, what makes me upset, what makes me laugh. She cared about the future, what our future together. And those are some of the things that came along that helped me to make the decision. Like, okay, well, this is a very solid woman. This is a woman that I can spend the rest of my life with. She's the type of woman that would help me to build she just didn't care about her own needs only, um, but she cared about. I told her about what I was trying to do, in terms of my business, and she was very supportive. She was there for me, and it was genuine. It wasn't like someone was trying to get ahead and trying to use me as a, what do you call it now?
What, a green card?
A green card. But yeah, she was very supportive when I told her, like I was told I was leaving my job. That was for me. That was one of those most important decision. When I explained to her I was leaving my job, and right at the time when we were like maybe a few years talking, whatever the case may
A
be.
few years,
I don't think it was a few
it's
years.
about a year,
A
maybe.
year, okay, a year, whatever.
Yeah.
But when I told her I was leaving my job, and she was 100% supporting of support.
I was actually impressed.
Yeah, she supported me.
Yeah.
With a big decision, to leave your job and never not necessarily have a 100% plan. What was ahead? It was just a fate move. I had to decide that, what, I've been at this company for 15 years, and it was time for me to leave. And she was like, okay, well, you know what, I support you, and that was big for me. So it didn't just show me that she cared about herself and her needs. She just basically showed me that she cared about me, and that was a huge difference between her and some of the other ladies I've met, and that was kind of what helped me to make the right decision in terms of marrying who I'm gonna marry. So yeah.
Marrying who you're gonna marry, or marry me?
Marrying her.
Well, when you told me that the struggles you were having at that job, I totally understood, because I was at a company for like 11 years, and it was really a troubling time. Spiritually, it was daunting. It was one of those, I call it 12 years a slave. No, 11 years a slave, because it was so horrible. I remember you were telling me how they were challenging you in terms of your faith being for the Sabbath. So when you say, you know what, I'm gonna step out and I'm gonna do my own thing, I was like, yeah, I was impressed, because for me, it was like, I do not do mediocre, and you were stepping out with this great faith. You were taking this leap of faith. So for me, it's like, okay, so he's not this mediocre guy that talks the talk but doesn't walk that talk. So when you say you're gonna leave that job, you're gonna start your own thing, I was like, yeah. Yeah, I was really impressed by that.
And also the other parts too. We think about friends and family. I brought her around friends and family, and have them check her out to see what she was about. You know what I mean? And that's important to have your friends and your family check out this individual that you're trying to date or thinking about getting married, or whatever the case may be. You have to introduce them to them and see what she's like. Let them see from an angle maybe that you're not looking. So I thought that was very important. And then my friends and my family gave their approval that like, she's a solid woman. Definitely go ahead and marry this woman. So
I got their stamp of approval.
Yeah, and that's very important.
It is.
So you can't. What was it in the book? God Write Your Love Letter. She talked about having your base.
Your support team.
The support
right.
team.
The support team should be, well, for most of us, we don't have godly parents because we live in a fallen, broken world. But really and truly, it should be your parents, godly parents, who you can. The first thing you should ask is, Mom or Dad, am I ready for marriage? And some of the things you should listen out for is, if whoever you ask, whether it's your parents or your friends, say, oh yeah, you're a nice person, oh yes, you are of age, oh, you're biological autistic, all those are no, you shouldn't be asking that person. Anyone that lists these things, that say, yeah, your age, you're a nice person, you're of age, or
and don't speak of your character.
Right. They're not saying, oh, well, I've seen you grow spiritually. I've seen you working.
You're committed.
Right. Yeah. I've seen where you put yourself, you've gone above and beyond. I've seen you work through your brokenness. You have, because a lot of us, we do have brokenness that we have to address.
I've seen you going to a counselor, whatever issues you were dealing with. I've seen you did all these things, and I've seen your growth, and I'm sure that the person that you're thinking about, I would approve of you getting married to this person because
Right.
I've seen the different elevation, call it, and
Right.
I've seen the different levels, and I've
Yeah.
seen, now I've
See
seen
you
that
grown.
you're more mature
Right.
and you're ready to take on those responsibility of being married to someone. So those things are
Right. Of
definitely,
being a servant, of
yeah.
being a helpmate. Because if your parents, like for example, if you're not ready and your parent will say, look here, you're not ready to be a husband because you don't finish projects.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is not a project that you can leave
It's a
halfway.
lifetime project.
Right. It's not something you can start like, you know what, I'm gonna change my major,
Yeah.
and then next semester I'm gonna change my major. She can see, or people can see that okay, you are very indecisive, or you're unsure of yourself. Your self awareness is off, and I always advocate for self awareness before you get married. Very much get to know yourself. So when you're dating, you can say, hey, when we were dating, I know that at that time of the month, I'm not the nicest person.
Oh Lord, mercy.
I'm not the nicest. And I said to him, I said, Jerome, look, when it's that time of the month, do not talk to me. When we get married, just bring me food and leave. Just give me the food and leave, because
I just put it underneath the door.
just give me the food and leave, because I know that I am not nice. I'm in pain. I just feel, well, we women, we know all those emotions that we feel, and we just want to be left alone for the process to pass. So for your safety, stay
over there
100 feet away.
Yeah.
Bring me vegan ice cream.
Yeah.
Bring me nice chocolate and stuff, and then just vanish.
Take off.
Yeah, and
poof.
When that period ends, we're best of friends again. So those things you need to know about yourself.
So okay.
Well, you need to have self-awareness.
So that's about it.
I think so. So that's how we knew.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be these crazy over the top things that people generally think of. Oh my gosh, I saw him and I knew it was the one.
I knew it was the one because I prayed and he showed up in a red shirt, or real. She showed up and the way she walked. No.
It may happen, but at the same time, you still don't know this person. You know what I mean? You got to get to know the person that you're gonna be with, because if you're only going from some signs that you prayed about, whatever, and you think that's good enough to marry a person. No, you have to get to know the individual who you're going to marry to. So it's get to know what they're like, what they dislike, what else?
I'll get to know what you like and what you dislike.
Absolutely.
What your negotiables are, what your non-negotiables are, and like we said before, ask. Don't decide, okay, I'm ready to get married. Ask. You should have your support team ask, do you think I am ready? And they might point things out to you that you might not even realize of yourself, and then you dig deep. Why do I do that? Why does that make me tick? And as he said, get counseling, fix that.
And don't take it as a negative. You know, don't take it as a negative, because each one of us we should try to grow.
That's true.
You know what I mean? We should
like
try
as
to grow.
You said, I wasn't argumentative. Oh my goodness, I wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
I was sometimes before. I was very
quick tongue.
quick with the tongue.
What did you say about Jamaica one again? What was that saying goes?
I think that's every woman though, babe.
Okay,
our strength is in our tongue.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't match you. Look at all those muscles. We can't match you.
Mm-hmm.
But that was for us, and we're not saying it's for you. We could just give you a few tips. Hey, this is how we knew, because the character shone through in those challenging moments.
Yes, that's a very important point. The character has to be elevated above everything else. I don't care what they look like. They could be the cat's meow.
That's true.
But if the character is shady, you're gonna be in big trouble.
Right.
You're gonna be in big time trouble. So make sure the character is at the end of the day. That's what's gonna help with the marriage. That's what's gonna sustain the marriage. Make sure that they have a godlike quality character, and growing towards getting better and better.
Committed to growth.
That's right.
In every aspect of life. Make sure, because if you are a person that exercises and that person is a couch potato, yeah, you might want to say that's a non-negotiable. You need to get to know that person, know what you're looking for, and don't be afraid to put it on the table that this is what I want. Because if you know what you want and you put it on the table, I believe when you are going on that first date, he or she is supposed to know what they want as well. And then you match up when you go and you say, oh, listen, I want a priest. And he's like, okay. I came here looking for a woman who's gonna allow me to be a priest. There you have it. Don't be coy and say, I don't want to tell him because he's gonna think that now.
Mm-mm.
No, baby girl, let him know. I'm looking for a priest, I'm looking for a provider, and I'm looking for what's the other one, babe? Protector. Right?
PPP.
Right, you don't want to marry
Peace,
somebody
provider, and
when
protector.
they hear a noise, they're gonna say, hey hon, go check that
Go
noise
check
out.
that
You
out.
want a man who's gonna say, you know what, babe?
Yeah.
You know, stay in bed or get the phone. You want that. Put it out there. You don't have to be specific. He's the one that's, or she's the one that's going to show you how they do it specifically. But put the general terms out there because your time is precious and you don't want to be wasting it 3 months down the line and you realize, oh, I wasted 3 months when I could have dated somebody else and now he's dating somebody else.
Absolutely. So
Right.
get those things in line. So like we said, we did it. That we didn't did it fall out of the sky, anything like that. We did it. We were more mature with our choices.
Yeah.
And
we put the work in.
Not only that though, but the other thing too that comes to mind was like making sure that you're both heading in the right direction, in the same
Right.
direction. You know what I mean?
Which is where you come with whatever on the table.
Yeah.
So what if you go on the first date and he said, hey, I see myself, God told me in 5 years I'm supposed to go overseas and become a missionary, but your purpose and plan, God told you something else. Don't let the physical attraction pull you. You might grow to resent this man or this woman. Be honest. Okay, we should just be friends.
Absolutely. And the Bible said that can two walk together unless they agree upon the direction. So making sure you and that person agree upon the direction that you're taking. And so, thank you for joining us. We appreciate. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, and for these cool shirts, check the link below. Well, he's not wearing his today, but I like this shirt. So check the link below and support us. Thank you.
And as always, we thank you guys for being a part of our family.
Yes, I want to shout out to our subscribers who've been watching and they've been giving us good when we see them in person and they tell us how great and how blessed they are. We are blessed when you tell us that you are blessed. So absolutely. Thank you. We love you. And we'll see you next time.
Okay, take care. Bye. Peace.